Hi students, welcome to All4's e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is organic chemistry and now we are in session number 35. In previous session we have a discussion on the properties of the phenols, that is the physical properties like acidic nature and the factors that influence the acidic nature, and thereafter I provided you different chemical properties that we can expect from phenol, which are included in our syllabus, is it not? And now let us move into discussion of each property. What are the chemical properties we can that the phenols are exhibiting, and how to study the properties that are affected by different groups, if any, or otherwise after formation of certain compound, what is the other nature of that compound formed as a product from these properties of the phenols. All these we have to discuss in a detailed manner, because each and every corner is an important we can find an important concept to frame a question for the competitive examination. And just you remember, my dear students, in competitive examination they never ask direct preparation and properties, and they are asking what is happening during the preparation, or what is happening when the property, a particular property, is observed from a given compound, and in due course what are the different abnormalities we can observe. All these are nothing but the attracting the paper setter mind. That's why we have to look it into it. And here I am going to explain all these different offshoots that we can find when the phenol is exhibiting different properties. Of them, the first properties of phenol, nothing but what we are expecting is ARES. It is nothing but aromatic electrophilic substitution reactions. These electrophilic substitutions, generally when it is of exhibiting electrophilic substitution, first of all, in phenol, the group which is present on benzene ring, and you know benzene is of very interested to go for electrophilic substitution. Already we know it is nothing but because of more electron density in benzene ring, because of 3 delocalized pi electrons, pi bonds, that is nothing but 6 pi electrons are present, and thereby it will attract the electrophile, it will attack on electrophile. Clear? But now it is already substituted, that is one hydrogen is replaced by OH group, and in this substituted benzene, nothing but phenol, when it is tend to go for further electrophilic substitution, what we can expect, what is its impact on further electrophilic substitution when any other reactant or reagent is attacking on this benzene ring. Clear? And now just let us observe, when phenol group, that is OH group, is present on benzene, what is happening? This lone pair of electron is contributed for pi bonding, that is nothing but that lone pair of electron which is present on oxygen is now creating some sort of resonance, and this resonance leads to different conjugative structures or resonating structures. Now let us write this here. Because of this pi bonded, that is lone pair of electron, this is happening, and when this lone pair is coming to this, and this pi bond will be shifted to this ortho position, and here this is ortho position is having negative side, and when it is of creating a pi bond with this, this will shift to this, and now we can observe one more negative site on benzene ring like this, and when it is forming one more pi bond, it will be shifted to this, and thereby now it is creating negative sign or negative charge on this ortho position again, and when it is coming to this, it will go back, it is finally creating this phenol which is of resonance within the benzene ring, not involving the OH group. And dear students, you remember, always you remember, this first one and the last one, these are not the conjugative structures of phenol, and that's why in any substituted benzene, the number of conjugative structures what we are considering is 3 plus 1, that is only 4, but here we are writing 1 2 3 4 5 we are writing, but actually the conjugative structures for substituted benzene is only 4. Why? Just you observe, in this case, when these two are present like this. Now let me give these two structures. It is one of the structure of phenol, and the other structure, that one is nothing but written like this. Just now you observe, in these two cases OH lone pair is not involved in conjugation. So that means these two structures are nothing but as a result of the conjugation observed in benzene ring, not involving the OH group. So when only benzene is involved in conjugation, it is not related to OH group. That is, it is not related to the substituent present on the benzene ring, and that's why these two are equal, and hence we are considering one of these two plus these three. One of that one or this one we have to consider. It is nothing but because as a result of these two, actual strictly speaking, we can write these two combinedly as this. So it is nothing but due to resonance that observed within the benzene ring, we are having a resonance hybrid of phenol, and this hybrid is having 3 more conjugative structures. Are you clear now? Why the conjugative structures for substituted benzene is 3 plus 1 is nothing but the first and final conjugative structures are not involving the substituent on benzene ring, and that's why they are nothing but these two are considered as only one kind. That's why it is 3 plus 1, always only 4. Okay, now here our interest is when this lone pair present on oxygen is involving in conjugation, what is happening in all these 3 conjugative structures? Let just you observe here at ortho position of OH group, this negative charge is developed, and similarly at para position also we are observing the negative charge, and one more ortho position is also developing the negative charge, and at meta position any of these 3 is not having any charge, is it not? And now let us consider the electrophile interest. Electrophile, electron deficient species, when it is coming, its interest is very interesting towards negative charge when compared to neutral charge, and in case if electrophile is coming towards neutral and positive, then simply we can say that its interest is towards neutral, and when it is between negative and neutral, its interest is towards negative. So here negative charge is developed at ortho and para position, that is at ortho position and at para position, and thereby we can say that this OH group with lone pair of electron which is present is an ortho and para director. Ortho and para director, just you remember, it is nothing but how it is directing this new incoming electrophile towards ortho and para. It is nothing but by generating the negative charge, that is nothing but by creating a favorable condition for the electrophile. By creating a favorable condition, a required condition for electrophile, it is made to direct this incoming electrophile towards ortho and para positions. Is it not? That condition which is of creating the favorable condition for the incoming electrophile is nothing but known as ring activation, and thereby this OH group is ortho and para director, and it is known as ring activator, just you remember. So OH group is ortho and para director and ring activator towards aromatic electrophilic substitution. Clear? And now let us look at the electrophilic substitutions that we can expect in this phenol. That is nothing but already it is given the list. Nothing but one of the reaction is nothing but nitration. In nitration, what is happening? And already in previous session I discussed that the nitration, the product formed is depending, one more factor that influencing the product formation is nothing but concentration of the nitric acid. There I provided you this nitration of phenol will be carried out by using a dilute HNO3 and a concentrated HNO3. And now let us see what is happening when dilute HNO3 is used for nitration, and thereafter we can go for when concentrated HNO3 is used, what is happening to that. These two we have to discuss in this one because they are of having some sort of importance. Clear? And now nitration. Nitration with dilute HNO3 plus H2SO4. This is nothing but it is known as nitration mixer. Already in benzene it is known as nitration mixer. And in this nitration mixer, what is happening? During the nitration, what is happening? Let us see. It is HNO3 and H2SO4. In general, as per physical chemistry or inorganic chemistry, both these two are behaving like acids. Already is it not? Both these two are behaving like acids. But here, in this nitration process, this HNO3 is behaving like this. It is releasing OH minus with this H plus of HSO4, and thereby in this nitration process, just you remember, nitric acid is behaving like a base. It behaves like a base. Just you remember, it is nothing but because of releasing OH minus, and only after releasing OH minus, then only it is able to generate nucleophile, electrophile NO2 plus to attack on benzene ring. Is it not? And now with this one, what is happening to this phenol? As we know, phenol is now already we discussed, it is nothing but ortho and para director, and thereby for this new incoming electrophile, that is NO2 plus, it is of supporting or directing to go towards ortho position like this and para position like this, OH and NO2. Just you remember, it is automatically, it is the major product because of steric relief. Here some sort of steric hindrance will be there because of this group that present, and here there is no such type of steric factor, and hence para is always major product. Clear? And now these are the two products that are formed in nitration of phenol with dilute HNO3. And now let us have a discussion about these two. Some important questions are there. In 2017 or 18, I think, one question is asked related to the steam volatility of these nitrophenols. Steam volatile. Of these two, which is steam volatile? They are asking. Just we know, when these two, if you observe these two compounds, these two are having OH group in their molecule, and when OH group is present, automatically we can expect some sort of hydrogen bonding, and that hydrogen bonding in this phenol is in nitrophenol. When nitro group is present at ortho position, it is forming this type of intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intramolecular H bonding, I think this is also known as chelation or chelation. It is a stabilizing factor. Clear? And now when it is of p-nitrophenol, here this nitro group which is present at para position is unable to form hydrogen bond with that OH group, but this can form hydrogen bond with other phenol molecule like this, and so on like this. The reaction, that is nothing but the bonding will be in between two molecules. In between two molecules, when it forms, it is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular H bonding is possible in p-nitrophenol. And as we know, when it is intramolecular, there is no intermolecular attractions with other molecules, and thereby it is of not having any intermolecular attraction with other molecules, and hence it is steam volatile. It is highly volatile, and because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, it is less volatile. less volatile. So these two can be separated by stim volatile technique, and where this orthonitrophenol is of evaporated and the p-nitrophenol will retain in the vessel. Clear? And now when sometimes they are asking about the volatile nature of three phenols, that is nothing but O-nitrophenol, M-nitrophenol and p-nitrophenol. If they ask, just we are observing here it is intramolecular, it is intermolecular, and when it is in between, it is of having less tendency to form intramolecular and compared to this ortho, and less tendency to form intermolecular compared to this para, and thereby here the volatile nature is ortho is more volatile than meta is more volatile than para. Just you remember, it is nothing but the volatile tendency. And at the same time, when it is volatile tendency, they are asking related to boiling point. Just you remember, more volatile, less boiling point. So ortho is less boiling point and meta and then para. This is the boiling point order for among these three nitrophenols. Ortho, because of more volatile nature, that more volatile nature is nothing but intramolecular hydrogen bonding, and because of that intramolecular hydrogen bonding, it is not at all having any intermolecular attractions. And when there is no intermolecular attraction, simply it can be easily volatile, that means it can be easily boiled, and hence its boiling point is very less. Clear? And compared to that, the para is able to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding means it is of having some sort of attraction with others, some bonding, hydrogen bonding with others, and thereby it is less volatile. Less volatile means it is of required more temperature to boil. That means para is having highest boiling point, and whereas ortho is having lowest boiling point, and the meta is in between. Just dear students, you remember whether they are asking for the volatility or boiling point. These two are inversely related. More volatile, less boiling point. Less volatile, more boiling point. So if you observe one trend, automatically for the second it is a reverse trend. Clear? That is about this ortho and para nitrophenols. And now coming to the next one. When this phenol is nitrated with concentrated HNO3. Now till now what we are using is simply dilute HNO3, where only one nitration is assumed to happen on phenol benzene ring. But now in case if we are using concentrated HNO3, now let us see, this is phenol OH. Here we are using concentrated HNO3 with concentrated H2SO4. In this case, all these ortho positions as well as the para positions are getting nitrated at the same time. And now the question is how it happens. Just you remember, when it is ortho para director, it is of making one nitro group here, and this nitro group is meta director, and thereby both these two by reinforcing effect, that is it is of promoting for ortho and it is promoting for meta, and these two are now directly promoting this incoming nuclear electrophile, that is one more nitro group, nitronium ion, to get into this para position, and to this it is meta position. And now already we know these two are now promoting meta positions, meta directors, and it is ortho director. So for this ortho and for these two it is meta, and hence further nitration is also happen. Like that, after when it is treated with concentrated HNO3, trinitration is happening to the benzene ring where phenol present. Clear? And now this is known as, I think you know, this is the IUPAC name is, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. This is IUPAC name. And in common system it is known as picric acid. And you remember, it is the acid without picric acid. It is the acid without carboxylic acid group. Clear? acid. The name is picric acid, but there is no acidic group. Already in previous, I think it is in mains examination, they asked that question. It is nothing but for integer type question. They provided some names, and out of them, how many are not having the carboxylic group? Like carbolic acid. Carbolic acid is phenol, you know. In phenol there is no COOH, and it is nothing but picric acid. Picric acid is also not having any COOH group. Is it not? Like that, without COOH group, these are considered as acids. Thereby they are. And now, let me discuss one more thing, very, very important concept. It is nothing but the reaction of phenols. Phenols means here it is substituted phenols even. The reaction of phenols with bicarbonates and carbonates. With bicarbonates and carbonates. First, let me give the information related to these two. Just you remember, these two are nothing but the conjugate basis of carbonic acid. It is carbonic. Just you remember, carbonic. Carbonic, NiC. It is carbolic, LiC. Phenol is carbolic acid, and whereas H2CO3 is carbonic acid. It is weak inorganic acid. It is not organic acid, even though it is having the carbon and hydrogen. Clear? And when any acid which is more acidic than carbonic acid are supposed to release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. Just remember, any acid which is of more acidic than carbonic acid are supposed to release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. Clear? And now, just remember, all organic acids, that is carboxylic acids, organic carboxylic acids, all these are of no doubt at all more acidic than this, and thereby when RCOOH is reacting with any carbonate or bicarbonate, they release CO2. And just you remember that CO2 is released from carbonate or bicarbonate, but not from this. Even though carboxylic acid is having COOH group where CO2 is assumed to present, this CO2 released is not from the acid. It is only from carbonate or bicarbonate. Clear? And now, these acids can release CO2. And now when it is phenol, only phenol, when it is reacting with carbonate or bicarbonate, just you remember, it is unable to release CO2. It can't release CO2. But once it is nitrated, mononitrophenol, that is when it is of having one nitro group, this is also unable to release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. Clear? But you remember, when phenol is dinitrated, this phenol is now dinitrated like this. Just you remember, this dinitrated as well as trinitrophenol. What is trinitrophenol? Simply it is nothing but picric acid. These two are strong enough. Only these two. Just again I am repeating, dear students, phenol, nitrophenol, mononitrophenol, these two are not sufficiently acidic compared to carbonic acid, and that's why they are unable to release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. But once the phenol is dinitrated or trinitrated, these two are sufficiently acidic so as to release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. They can release CO2. I think you got the idea. Clear? So now they are asking the question related to that. Which of the following compound, when treated with sodium bicarbonate, can release CO2? If they ask, then just you have to observe that all carboxylic acids can release CO2. And in case of phenol, if it is only phenol without any further substituent, and if it is mononitrophenol, these two are also unable to release CO2 from carbonates, bicarbonate. But once if it is dinitrophenol, when dinitrophenol is having the capacity to release CO2 from carbonate, bicarbonate, automatically trinitrophenol as the number of nitro groups on benzene ring increases, the acidic character increases, is it not? So when mononitro is not sufficiently acidic to release CO2 from carbonate or bicarbonate, dinitro is sufficient, and now trinitro is still having more acidic character. Thereby these two, dinitro and trinitro phenols, can release CO2 from carbonates and bicarbonates. Clear? That is about this nitration of phenol and the products, their tendencies. Clear? And in coming session, let us discuss one more electrophilic substitution reaction, that is nothing but halogenation, which is specifically given as bromination of phenols. Okay. Thank you.